Hello. Welcome back to Sunday evening stream. Obviously, those of you that have been here before, the weekly market roundup. Welcome to the stream. Let me know who we've got watching. Get your comments in. Also, make sure you drop a like, and of course, hope you've had a great weekend. Let me know what you've been up to in the chat. What have you been doing this fine weekend? Get involved, get in the chat, let me know. And let me know, what have you been trading? Did you have a good week trading? Was you in green P&L? All that good stuff, get it into the chat. It would be fantastic to know. Overall, pardon me. We've got Bitcoin obviously pushing up now. We have ETH just obviously had a huge rally. Just pretty much up only, wasn't it, from Thursday onwards? You know, this Thursday rally began. You could even trace it obviously back to Wednesday too, you know, here. But really Thursday was when the momentum really came in, and it just went up and up and up and up. And you know, if you count it from really this point onwards, we hit 18% within 2-3 days, which was pretty crazy when you think about it. But yeah, ETH looking good as well. Obviously came back down, flushed down, came back into where the price had settled on Saturday, retested it again today. And it's pushed up again since. Oh, pardon me. Patent says, is CryptoFace still about with his tunes? Lol. I've no idea, to be honest. I don't know, mate. I have no idea what CryptoFace is up to. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, mate. But yeah, thank you for joining again, Peyton. I remember you joined on, I think it was Friday, wasn't it? Or maybe it was Thursday. I can't remember. You joined one of the days last week, so it looks like you've subscribed. So obviously, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for joining. And obviously to everyone else, thank you very much for joining me today. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on the market. I mean, yeah, ETH is pretty much on the cusp, isn't it? If you go to, obviously, the weekly, this is going to be one of ETH's highest ever weekly closes. If you look on here, we have only closed above where we are at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, depending on where it finishes. If it finishes anywhere above 4,300, it will be its like third highest ever close, which is pretty significant. And as you can see, where we was finding resistance in March last year, in May last year, in December last year, them 3 times, that 1, 2, 3 peak, we've now cleared it, obviously, on this weekly candle. Big old weekly candle. We started at 3,500 and ending up at nearly, I apologize, I'm tired tonight. I ended up at nearly 4,300. So yeah, a mighty climb from ETH this week. Bitcoin, on the other hand, again, is another one. Depending on obviously where we close in the next just over 4.5 hours, we could potentially even get Bitcoin's highest ever weekly close, couldn't we? If we close above, say 19, if we close above 19.5K ish, that will be Bitcoin's highest ever close. It only needs to do another $900 in that time. So yeah, it's obviously looking quite good. It's looking quite good on that front. Obviously, altcoins in general are kind of awaiting their expansion if they haven't begun it, haven't they? We've got Solana here, as you can see on the weekly anyway. Really waiting for that expansion, obviously back towards its highs. Somewhat lagging behind, you could say, ETH, for sure. But a lot of them are as well. A lot of these haven't gone on to entertain the December highs or obviously just highs of that move that we had last year. But there are a lot of ones, especially, obviously ETH linked ones go in there. As you can see, Link here, began the week down at $16, ending the week up at 22, starting to push obviously up towards these December highs, but particularly obviously these January ones look in line next in this $25 to $26 region. Looks sensible next. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's anything specific you would like to look at, and if there is, I can obviously do let me know. Oh, we've got Litecoin. Litecoin's still moving well. We've still got good movement on Litecoin. That's obviously awaiting above a push into these weekly highs. We've got Hype, obviously coming up. Broke this downtrend, hasn't it? So if we look at, say, the daily on Hype, as you can see, we highlighted demand in here, didn't we? Which came in here, and depending on obviously where you draw it, we had this descending trend line where obviously supply was coming in. You could draw it there, or maybe you move it a bit, but in essence, we come down, tested supply, held, and then obviously Hype is getting a real good push up and should potentially start looking towards its highs now. ENA, this thing is unbelievable, isn't it? So Obviously, ENA, we was looking at this zone here as a potential. But yeah, I think really the one that matters is when we start coming into $1. That's where I'm going to be really interested in. As you can see, got it outlined there. I think ANA into $1 is definitely something to watch. LDO is getting a huge push up. Obviously, very ETH related, isn't it? Very ETH related. So that's getting a great push up. Obviously, had a great move alongside ETH since Thursday. It's done just under a 2x. And obviously, that's pushing up with strength. And as you can see, if we look across here, up towards 186, potentially into 190, maybe just below $2, looks sensible for LDO from here before it comes into some supply area. Anywhere in here, and it would definitely be interesting to see. Going to set an alert on that. There and there we go. What else do we have? Got obviously ZRO, big one today. So ZRO is obviously one we've watched on the channel. I was discussing swing long in ZRO when we was down here. Didn't obviously end up doing it with the stream account. But if we had, we would obviously be in great profit now. And as you can see, it's came into SR. So we've obviously got demand down here. Every time we enter here, price holds and pushes up. But as you can see here, we've got clear SR. So it's came into it and so far rejected. But if it does get above here, say 245-ish, then we should start trending towards $3, 310-ish. So definitely something to keep an eye on that on ZRO. Obviously having a great day today with some news-related pump. I think they're looking to merge with something. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. This thing refuses to go down, doesn't it? But I mean, look at the daily wicks there. Daily wicks quite interesting on that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. What are you thinking about Bitcoin? We are still green on Stonksy, which is good, and that has been obviously green since 14.1k. We're now obviously tagging 19k-ish, which is a great result from that. How are we doing, Kev? Great to see you, mate. But yeah, let me know what you would like me to cover if there is anything specific. Otherwise, we'll just carry on rattling through. Obviously, I suppose a good place to start is memes, isn't it? SPX remains strong. Obviously, he's finding some trouble just below $2. But should it clear that, then yeah, we could obviously see it rally towards new all-time highs if we clear this area. You can see quite clearly, can't you, where it is struggling in here. So we clear this bit, and then obviously we're looking towards the highs on that. Fartcoin's quite interesting. Obviously one that we had a long on last week. Came back down today, but it's pushing back up quite nicely. Pengu. Yeah, another fascinating one, Pengu, really. As you can see, it's got clear SR here. But it's remained strong, since it's pumped. So another one where it's not really going to take much to send this back towards its highs, and it's not too far away at all. Pump came down a decent bit, hasn't it? It came down 13% so far. This may be one we'll keep our eyes on this week. So if we look at Pump, Stonksy had a nice call on it there. But if we look at Pump, where would we want to be getting into? I mean, in and around here is obviously the place for it to hold, Really, yeah, in and around there. We'll keep an eye out on that, because obviously this is one I was interested in and we didn't catch the move up on it. Mother, 7% up. This was another one we were talking about, swing long in like ZRO down here, and we didn't end up doing it, which is a real shame, to be honest, because as you can see, wherever we was talking about it, I'm guessing it was in here somewhere. we'd be 50% up on that now. So that would have been 100% P&L return on a 2x long. AI 16Z. I'm quite interested. Has anyone got any memes that used to be big, that had massive pumps up, that are just completely dead and leveled off now? So, for instance, today I've seen that Myro is having a bit of a resurgence. Obviously, Myro used to be, quite a large meme coin, and then obviously just slowly and steadily just drifted down, didn't it? Drifted down and kind of just died off. However, obviously the past couple of days, what's that? 5 green candles in a row on a daily, coming into supply here on this part of its range. As you can see, these rejection candles. It's into that now. But yeah, if you zoom out on it, it could have quite a good run. It could have quite a good run, Myro. There's the potential to, when you look out, it's not really started to move at all. But has anyone got any old meme coins? They don't need to technically be old, they could be a year old, whatever, but went to pretty high market caps and have just been absolutely battered and battered and battered. But the key thing is they haven't moved yet. Anyone got anything like that? Let me know in the chat, because I'm interested in taking a look at some. I think obviously this could be kind of the season, couldn't it, for just ones that are kind of forgotten about and stuff. Like Peanut. Look at Peanut. Not Peanut necessarily to fit that narrative, because obviously Peanut had a huge rally. But when you look at it, it's came back down on it, and it's not really too far away from its lows. Could we see Peanut back up here? Turbo, another one. Yeah, I'm quite keen to know. Let's see if we go on BLOFIN and we go on meme, and I want to see the lowest volume ones. So Sats, look at Sats there. Do you remember this thing? Sats. So look at the lowest volume here on these. Rats, 1,000 rats. Meme. Yeah, I'm interested in some of these. Oh, Slave, do you remember that? Do you remember Slave? Yeah, I'm not too interested in all of them. But any that potentially still have some relevance. Book and Meme was one I was looking at. Book and Meme was one I was actually looking at before. I think maybe we take some trades on a few of these maybe this week. There's Myro, obviously up today. Yeah, I think what have we got? We've got Goat. Yeah, that's already had a decent push up, hasn't it, since April? Not coin. Obviously, I think that's quite closely related to Ton, isn't it? Not, I believe. So yeah, I think maybe we start having a bit of a pop at just a few of these. Not necessarily loads of margin from the account, but I know I'm not logged in. I got logged out before, but I don't really need to be logged in because I'm not taking anything today. Simon's Cat. But yeah, I think maybe we come and we have a little fire at some of these this week. Particularly, yeah, I mean, these ones with low volume, that's got 10,000 volume. Can you imagine if even just a little bit of volume comes in on some of these? Even if just a little bit of volume comes in, look at that. I could genuinely do that in a day if the volume comes in on it. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't actually know what some of these are. I don't think I would do all of them. Maybe we'll run through on tomorrow's stream. exactly which ones we'll take, and we'll take them on stream. But yeah, I think, you know, potentially it might not be a bad idea is to start hitting some of these memes that look like obviously they're pretty leveled out. Why is that doing that? I want it to be in volume again. Right, there we go. It's just done it the other way around. So yeah, I think we'll come and have a look at some of these. Is anyone else doing the same? Maybe scouring just altcoins in general for ones that look like that, or what? I think that's going to be maybe one of my strategies for this week. Is just to look for opportunities like that, especially obviously if ETH, and then, you know, if Sol starts kicking off and everything, we could obviously see just some crazy pumps, couldn't we? But yeah, I mean, obviously we can't look at any stocks. We looked at memes. Sui's doing well. Tron, Ada. Yeah, I mean, I think overall things are doing pretty well. Obviously, Aave responding well to ETH's pump. Where's Compound? Where's Comp? Yeah, so Comp's already started to run, to be fair. I was thinking maybe it might be delayed for Aave, but it's not. Hey. But yeah, I think maybe this week, we'll start hunting for some kind of forgotten altcoins, if you will. Some forgotten ones where they just haven't had a pump at all. And maybe we'll start longing some. I think that's probably a good direction for tomorrow's stream, is looking at some of these and thinking, not this one directly. I mean, this one's fascinating because the volume is just so dead on it. The volume is so dead on it, but literally in a day, we could just see a crazy daily candle up to there. There's no real reason why not. So I think that may be where the opportunities are starting to maybe creep in. I mean, if we go into all, what is the lowest volume thing on here? And again, you know, a lot of these probably aren't even worth trading, but if there's kind of like a forgotten one, remember Engine? Remember that? I mean, the fact that that's got 6k. Oh wow, that's got $661 in volume today. Alice. I thought that was a meme coin. No. ETH W. ETH proof of work. Interesting. Yeah, I think we'll put that on the list to do this week. Is we'll just go through And we will. I mean, look at that. Melania's only got 17k of volume. Joe. Trader Joe. I think that's on AVAX, isn't it? Big time. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we'll I think that could be a good one for this week, that. See how it goes. Dave, I bought ETH at $2,580. At what point would you start taking profits and how much? Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it, Kev? I suppose it depends on how high you think it's going to go, mate. I suppose it depends on how high you think it's going to go. I mean, I can't give financial advice, but I think, say if I just put myself in that theoretical position, I would probably be taking a lot of... It just depends on it, because I know a lot of people are saying like ETH to 6k, ETH to 10k and stuff. I suppose it's like, what do you think is going to happen for me, Kev? Like, what do you think is going to happen? For me, I would probably maybe, if it was me in that situation, I would... It's difficult, because I don't know how to word this. Me just being conservative, I would definitely probably take my initial money out here, if not 50%, if not maybe all. I don't know. It just depends. I mean, there's its all-time high there. The thing is, you've locked in. So currently, you've got 2,580. Let's just call it there. So you've currently got a 65% unrealized gain, haven't you? You've currently got a 65% unrealized gain. If it goes to 5k back to its all-time high, that's a 95%. So an extra 30%. Then if it goes to 6k, you have 134%. So obviously just over double. I suppose it depends on a couple of things, doesn't it? Yeah, I suppose it depends on what is your actual opinion on ETH. Do you think it's going to all-time high? Do you think it's going to go higher? How high? Also, on the profits that you're taking, are you going to roll them into anything else? Or are you just going to put them in stables and leave them there, or obviously withdraw them? What are you going to do with them? And maybe I suppose that's probably more about your answer. What a late night. What a treat. Yeah, mate, I always live on a Sunday. Not for long to be fair, but always live on a Sunday. I'm thinking 5/6k. And the thing is, you could always trim some, couldn't you? You could always trim some if you wanted to, or you could just leave it. I suppose it really just depends on what you think is going to happen. Like, you're thinking 5/6k, so probably anywhere in this realm. So what I would do, if you're not going to take profits, Kev, here, and you're going to do it higher, what I would do is, to avoid yourself getting into euphoria stage, I would do two things. Either put them into, I suppose it depends on where you're holding ETH, really. But say if they're on an exchange, I would put them into spot limit sells, so that you can't get caught up in euphoria, in excitement, and just forget to sell. Do you know what I mean? So say if it does get in this realm here, if you are going to hold for higher and you think it's going to come in here, obviously you could have, say, take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. It's kind of that thing. And obviously you could split the ETH into 3 different limit sell orders then. So then you've got your sell limit orders, so you can't get kind of outdone by the excitement and stuff. So then you say, for instance, it pops up here like in a couple of weeks, then you don't let yourself get overcome by excitement and euphoria then, do you know what I mean? Because they'll just automatically sell for you. So you've automatically took profit then, instead of getting like to a point where you need to go and like sell it your actual self. So that's one aspect. Obviously, the other you could do is you could take like 20% off the table here. You could take 25, you could take 10, whatever. The main thing is just don't forget to pay yourself at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? You've held so far a 65% gain, which is fantastic, but don't forget to pay yourself at the same time. So whether that's obviously, taking 10, 20, 25, maybe more here, and then, putting limits, sell orders in wherever, or obviously like if you're looking for higher, then putting them in. But putting spot limit sell orders in is a great way to not allow yourself to become, too excited and too caught up in euphoria, because, price will trade that level, your sells will trigger, and then you don't need to do it yourself. You're just kind of waiting for them levels then. So yeah, I suppose it's a bit difficult in it, because like I suppose like it just depends on what you're gonna do with them as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you going to like keep it separate, and just hold it there? Because what you don't want to do is obviously take profit and then roll it into something else and then that go to shit. Do you know what I mean? Also, you don't want to obviously bag hold to retrace your gains. So it's a bit of obviously a sticky spot. But I think, yeah, either taking some here and then obviously limits higher, or if you're in full belief, full bull, like, no, I believe in my bones that ETH is going to 5 to 6k, then, having limit orders sell like that. Because the reality is it probably won't go to 6k, well, it'll probably go to like 5,910 or 5,950. And obviously people will front run the 6k sell orders then. Alternatively, it could go higher. I've seen obviously people calling for like 7, 8, 9, 10k this cycle, so it could always go higher. But again, not if everyone knew where it was going, then everyone would be right, which obviously is not how markets work. So people have to be wrong, don't need to make a market. But yeah, great question, mate. And obviously, yeah, like I said, it's a tricky one. But yeah, I suppose it just depends how cautious you are. If it was me, I would probably be taking some off the table here. But I suppose you can also think like, well, it's not even at its all-time high yet. Do you know what I mean? It's still 20% away or whatever it is from its all-time high. So some people may see that as foolish. But I suppose it just depends on how conservative of a trader you are and stuff. But yeah, nice buy. Really nice buy. I mean, this was a fantastic opportunity when you look back at it now, wasn't it? Down at 1,500 to 600 for like 2 weeks as well. It was like 2 weeks down there, wasn't it? Unbelievable. I mean, that is a 167% gain, which is fantastic, really. But yeah, does anyone remember on stream when I was going over this pattern? So I know I put it in the Discord before, but I think it was either early last week or the week before when I was going over this pattern that ETH was looking like it was going to do. And basically, this pattern is, as you can see it drawn here, price comes up, consolidates in a range. You then get the fake out to the downside, and then obviously reclaim at a range, and then from there on expand. So as you can see, ETH, came up, consolidation, compression in a range, came down. There's, the fake out. There's the reclaim in a range, and then it's obviously then blasted through range high to new local highs here. So it's played that pattern perfectly. Now, if you look at Bitcoin is doing the exact same pattern. It's just obviously a bit delayed. So push up, compression in a range, drop down, fake out, reclaim at a range. So now is it gonna? If you look at Bitcoin there. And then you look at ETH, obviously pretty much the same pattern at the moment. So Bitcoin obviously looks like it's in this period here of coming up to test a high. So yeah, the question is it going to follow this pattern? This pattern is really useful, to be fair. It's good for making a note of. of when something is in an uptrend or consolidating and obviously has a fake out to the downside. But yeah, Eve played this absolutely perfectly, like I shown on stream. So next up is obviously if Bitcoin's going to do the same, doing the exact same thing, and then can it do that expansion? Bang, there we go. Should be interesting. Yo, Delanium, how we doing? Great to see you, mate. Where's how we doing? You guys are legends. Thank you very much for joining me. Please do make sure everyone drops a like. You have caught the tail end now. I will be only on for a couple more minutes. But yeah, we were just going through some great scenarios for Kev's spot bags in ETH. So we were just going through that, which was a great question. And yeah, I enjoyed trying to answer it to the best of my ability for him. Hope everyone's had a great weekend, by the way. Hope you've all had a great weekend. What I was doing then, Wiz, was I've gone on to BLOFIN and I'm looking at the memes with the least volume. Because I think what I might do is I might punt some high risk, obviously high reward longs on kind of forgotten memes with incredibly low volume. Because as we know, for Sats, for example, obviously on BLOFIN, it's got just under 10k volume today. A day with good volume could see this go 2, 3, 4, 5x easy. So I'm thinking maybe a few of these forgotten altcoins, like obviously Sats, Rats, Meme. They're all looking kind of similar. I'm thinking maybe on tomorrow's stream we'll go through and maybe punt 5 or 6 of them to the upside. Book a Meme is another one. For when potential volume comes in. Obviously that's got a lot more volume than the others. But I'm thinking, for some of these, it wouldn't take a lot, would it, to send these up? So I think maybe that's what we'll do on tomorrow's stream. Very great weekend. Nice stacks with Chainlink and Crow. Nice, mate. Yeah. Well done. I like it. Wiz, I'm fascinated to see what this thing is going to open at tomorrow. That had quite an interesting close, didn't it? I think it actually closed at 15.30, didn't it? Not 15.77, post market. I think it closed at 15.30. But obviously interesting formation through the day on Friday when it came obviously down here and then reversal. Fascinated to see what this is going to do this week. That's like obviously for the drop that it had, that's like a really interesting pattern. And obviously for the other one that it's tied to, this one, I assume these guys being Ethereum stakers. That's right, isn't it? Ethereum stakers. Anything Ethereum related should gap up quite good, shouldn't it, after the past couple of days? So obviously this, and then what was the other one? Is it SBET? They're the Ethereum guys, aren't they? Yeah. Anything Ethereum should gap up quite good. So obviously if this thing gaps up, this BT, because of Ethereum, should in theory drag this up with it, shouldn't it? So I'm interested to see what will happen with that. BT, I shared the matrix in it. Yeah, I've seen it, yeah. Also, SBET may explode tomorrow. Yeah, I think anything tied to Ethereum will probably really explode. Should get some good pumps. Anything Ethereum related, especially if it carries on towards 5k. But yeah, it should be good for our buys. That I think. What was my average buy? Let me see. So my average buy, I was actually going to put a bit more in, but I didn't. So my average buy on it is $15.07. So currently, as it stands, I'm 2.27% up on it. If we get a 2x this week, that'll be quite nice. I'll take that every day. So I'd need it to go to about $30, wouldn't I, for 2x? Which, yeah, I would take that for sure. ZRO explosive. ZRO, I don't know how you've got it charted, Wiz, but ZRO for my chart is just like incredible. Like it's just so easy to chart. Obviously, I know I was talking about it, wasn't I? Swing long in it down here, and I didn't end up doing it, which, you know, I wish I would have now. Even though we've had some good trades recently, like that would be 32% up. So, you know, nearly that would be about 70% ish P&L on a 2x trade. But as you can see down here, we got demand. So this is, you know, solid demand. Then we've got clear SR here. So this is clear SR in between like 233 and 245 ish. So as you can see, we came up in here, rejected. So it's just so easy when you're looking at this, where you've got obviously one range here, and then obviously if we break above there, we've then got another range here up towards the highs, you know, about $3 and $3.10, 15. So just so obviously just so easy, level to level, bang, one, you know, we're now at resistance, currently rejecting, but if we get above, then obviously that then opens the door up towards $3 and just a bit above. Obviously if we reject from here, could we fall back down here? Yeah, but it's really nicely to chart. I had the pump go right into my weekly level. By the way, good call on that fart coin call. I took a long on it too. Yes, Delanium, yeah, I closed out the fart coin one at like $1.10, I think, which maybe is the right decision, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, we'll cover that tomorrow because BLOFIN logged me out. I don't really need to be logged in because I'm not taking any new trades. Now, I did get stop loss on my Ethereum short. So I had a stab at an Ethereum short, which obviously got stop loss. So we did take a margin hit on that. It wasn't much. It was like $70 on the stream account. So we did actually go up to $400 on the stream account. And then, yeah, we've took that hit. So I think we're down at like 330, 335, which is fine because I've had that charted for, you know, weeks and months and ages, having a go at shorting this area. So we shorted it. It didn't work out. That's fine. So we'll just obviously reassess. And I think reassessing into forgotten memes may be a good call. So yeah, we'll definitely cover that tomorrow. I think that'll be a great episode. Just going and longing some forgotten memes. But yeah, I did close around that price too. Made a quick 5%, 25% P&L. I'm guessing. I mean, yeah, nice, Delanium. Well, Delanium, hopefully, mate, see you back in the Stonksy Discord soon. I know you're talking about potentially resubbing again, so it'd be great to see you over there, mate. If you do obviously need any help or want to ask me any questions, I can give you my Telegram or I can give you my Discord handle, or you can obviously always email in or whatever. But yeah, thank you for joining me tonight, everyone. We'll leave it there, obviously, for the shorter Sunday market reviews. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. Hope you had a great night, or obviously if you're in a different part of the world, if it's still daytime or whatever. Maybe actually for some people, if anyone's in Asia, it'll actually already be Monday, won't it? But yeah, obviously I'll catch you all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. I think, yeah, we'll go and have a look at some forgotten memes. That'll be a good episode. And yeah, take it easy. Drop a like. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.